Hey, good evening once again. I'm Matt Reynoldson, and we are live at La Paloma Country Club for the 2024 Cologuard Classic. Things just wrapping up on the first of two Pro-Am days here at the Cologuard. 500 golfers expected to be on the course between 4 sessions of this Pro-Am. Should be really exciting to see people get out and about around the course, colorectal cancer survivors, along with sponsors of the event, and of course the pros themselves. 78 of them in the field at the Cologuard Classic. The 3-day tournament begins Friday morning. First tee at 9:50 a.m. Now, we got a chance to talk to an Arizona native who's taking part in the Cologuard Classic. Billy Mayfair is returning to Arizona, and he'll be one of the headliners for this year's event. The Phoenix native has played in the Cologuard Classic for several years now, and he's excited to take on the challenging layout of La Paloma. Now, here's the disclaimer. Mayfair is an ASU grad and is actually a member of the Sun Devil Sports Hall of Fame, but he has no animosity towards the red and blue. Former Wildcats golf coach Rick LaRose is actually his swing coach now, and regardless of his alum status, Mayfair is excited to hear the galleries cheer him on.
It's a great feeling. You know, we don't have to get on an airplane to go anywhere, but when you get to come down here and people call you by name and say, hey, we played with you, we watched you grow up, we watched you play here, and we followed your career and all that means a lot to me. It's really a nice feeling, and when people cheer you on, I mean, you always want to play good.
And as we mentioned, it's Pro-Am Day at the Cologuard Classic. And how about this pairing? Wildcat legends Terry Francona and Mike Candrea playing together in the morning round. A whole lot of wins on both diamonds between those two. And, of course, they're diehard U of A supporters. And while Tito may have spent a little time in the wash here on 18, it was a great day on the course for those legendary coaches. Now, I actually talked to Candrea after his round, and he told me he was heading out to catch a flight to Las Vegas, and that's where the headliner of the week is, the Arizona Women's Basketball Tournament. He'll be joined by plenty of red and blue out in Vegas, and he'll also be joined by Jenna Fink, who's at T-Mobile Arena right now, just minutes away from tip-off of the Wildcats' first round opener. Hey, Jenna.
Hey, Matt. Well, I was just down on the court watching the Wildcats practice, and let me tell you, they are locked in for this one, and they should be. The Wildcats are quite familiar with the Huskies. Now, Arizona lost to them in Seattle by 2 points, but rallied back and beat them in a triple overtime thriller at McHale. They know the blueprint to beat this Washington team. It starts with defense.
It's hard to guard, and you have to guard for like 28 seconds. It's always, for a player, it's hard when you're guard, and it's like a last-second layup is the most annoying thing as a player. So I think from a player's perspective, it's hard because you have to be disciplined and for a long time and multiple cuts, a lot of movement.
They play with 4 guards, so we just gotta be smart because they cut to the basket really fast. So we just gotta be careful with our post players, when to switch, when to not.
Luckily, the Wildcats have Helena Puello. She's one of the top defenders in the league. The 5th year was named to the All Pac-12 and All Pac-12 defensive teams. Puello leads the conference in steals with 3 a game.
4 years ago, she was not a good defender, and then she got a little better, and then she just went like this and skyrocketed. I'd say probably her 3rd year. But she wasn't as good as now, and now she's like a phenomenal defender. She's so smart. She's not the fastest, not the most athletic, but she's smart. She's her hands, she's her length, and she has a high IQ.
In addition to Puello, 4 other Wildcats earned Pac-12 honors. That includes 5th year Esmeri Martinez. She earned All Pac-12 and All Pac-12 defensive honorable mention, and those two will need to have a stellar performance on defense tonight if the Cats want to beat Washington. Tip-off coming up in just about 30 minutes. We'll have a full recap tonight on KVOA at 10. Reporting live in Las Vegas, Jenna Fink, News 4, Tucson.
All right, thanks, Jenna. And if the Wildcats win this one, they would go on to face USC Thursday night, also at 7 o'clock Arizona time. And that would mean both the men's and women's Arizona teams would face LA schools on Thursday. And, of course, it's the last chapter of a storied rivalry between Arizona and UCLA at 7:30 on Thursday night. Now, you can't write the story of this conference without the Wildcats and Bruins. Arizona and UCLA have combined to win a whopping 49 regular season conference titles. This week, though, the Wildcats are chasing number 50. They can capture the outright regular season crown with wins in their final 2 games. And as for the rivalry, it provides a little more juice to an already huge matchup in Westwood.
I know the rivalry is important to both fan bases. I don't get too caught up in that, but I recognize how special both brands are, and it's an honor to be participating, as a coach of one of the teams.
Yeah, I mean, UCLA is a great program. They've been good for God knows how long. And whenever they play Arizona, it's a fun game. So we for sure want to win every possible game we can against them.
It's a beautiful night here at La Paloma Country Club. It should be a great rest of the week of sports. As we mentioned, this tournament tees off at 9:50 a.m. on Friday morning. First round, second round on Saturday, third round on Sunday. Should be a really great competitive tournament. We'll talk to all the stars tomorrow here at La Paloma, but you can see the sunset behind me. It is just gorgeous out here. Once again, I'm Matt Reynoldson reporting for News 4 Tucson, and we'll be right back to wrap up the show after the break.